Namaste and welcome to Enter Sun here. Today's day 6, part 1, and day 7 will be part 2 of choosing your theme or mantra for the 2017 year. So we are now 5 days out. You've got 5 important days ahead of you to choose a mantra or theme for next year, to let it marinate in your head and to let it marinate in your gut and to see if it's the right one for you and to pick the right one for you, or maybe the right 2 or 3. So this is going to be broken into 2 parts. Today we're going to look at the history of mantras and the history of our own mantras. We all have personal mantras in our history, and sometimes we need to, in order to move forward, we've got to look back and go, okay, what's in our cabinet of thoughts that we might need to clear out before we start moving forward, to clear that energy, to clear that space of maybe mental negativity, or even to look and show gratitude to the good mantras we've chosen and chosen to ingrain in our life moving forward, and appreciate that and add to those and cultivate those. So we're going to learn how to tend to the garden of our mind. I love that saying. You got to get in there and dig around and aerate, get in the roots and get some fresh air into the mind every once in a while, because we get stuck in these ruts of repetitive multitasking, not creative thinking. And so every once in a while you got to get in there and let things marinate and stir up and cultivate. Feed yourself good thoughts and positive energy, and then also pull out the root of the bad ones, the root of the bad negative habit patterns of the mind. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about choosing a mantra and choosing one that resonates with you and how to figure out how they resonate with you to get into that frame of mind. So mantras traditionally were used by Hindus in Hinduism or Buddhism, and they were used by a master or a monk or a guru or whatever, a teacher, a guide. So you'd go to your guide and they would give you a mantra, and it would be usually something that you would chant or say out loud or to yourself while you were meditating, while you were sitting on the meditation cushion. And the reason that they did that was to concentrate and still the mind, or to set an intention so that the mind could go there instead of all the way over here. And it would be a great form to focus and hone the mind down and to quiet and still the mind so they could start to see the root problems and the bad habits of the mind and start to see the inner workings of the mind so they could make changes. But also translated, the word mantra means to charm or to counsel or literally to think. And what we think and what we say, a mantra really is just a saying, it's a word. What we say to ourselves is the most profound thing we will say, what we say to ourselves. And we all have personal mantras. I talked to you a little bit about scarcity economy and joy in the couple of days ago video. And when we have scarcity economy that we live and think in, then we start to we start to have mantras like, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not pretty enough, I don't have enough money. There are a lot of not enough mantras. And so we want to, over the next day or two, just every once in a while, close your eyes and in different facets and areas of your life, think about, in my financial area, in the physical area, in the love department, in this department, all these areas, what do I say to myself? And try to be honest and vulnerable, and set your ego to the side as you do it, or even recognize when your ego, because it will come up in this process. This is a killing of the ego process, so it's going to fight to stay alive. So kind of think about what comes up over the next couple of days, but then also don't just focus on the negative. I love there's a book called Inside Buddha's Brain or Buddha's Mind, and it was a beautiful take on where our mind's going and how it's evolved over time to see, and we do see a lot of negative. But what was so beautiful, he mentioned in that book, was although there's a lot of negativity out there, and our mind just gets drawn to the negative, there's so much more positive. So start to think about your positive mantras too. Maybe you are honest and you have integrity, and you have skills and gifts, and whatever your positive mantras are that you say to yourself. I am smart, I am funny, I am honest. Those are great positive mantras. Okay, so we looked at the past, and we know what mantras were traditionally meant to be. So they're sounds to quiet and hone the mind. But mantras can also have meanings behind them too. So just let that all marinate with you today, and start to think about what your mantras are and what you say repetitively. And start to think about that concept of tilling the mind and gardening the mind, and let's start to marinate and dig in there and get some stuff coming up. I'm excited to pick my mantra or theme of next year's new year, and I hope you are too. So namaste, and I'll see you tomorrow.